Uh, then furthermore, I have explained to you that basically Jagan was actually helpless here. We have to understand that because Mali tries to use what do you call Jagan's ability, Jagan's whatever the talent that Jagan has received from the whatever the uh, what do you call positions or else contributions actually done by Jagan to the society is actually given to Jagan back because Jagan is known as a very famous vendor in that town. So Jagan is a very famous person, as I have explained to you. But here the problem arises that is that Mali is going to start a business called Mali Enterprises, right? His main motive is to bring story writing machines from America and he wants to distribute them in India. So Jagan explains about this idea to his father and his father also agrees to the idea. And but father actually warns him, telling that I don't think this business is going to be a success because in Malgudi is a very small place. So because of that reason, I don't think that a lot of people will engage in this. So because of that reason, I don't think that that is going to be a successful business because people who live in Malgudi, they don't have enough money to even to buy their food, even to buy a washing machine. So if you believe that these people will have enough money to buy all these story writing machines, that is not going to happen. That is something that you are thinking from your mind. So I don't know. It is up to you. If you like to start that kind of a business, you can start. That is the idea actually he had. So apart from that, we can see if you can remember the Nataraj. Nataraj is known as the printer. Can you remember the character? He is the printer. So Jagan has actually given a book to print, written by himself about the medicine, all the traditional medicine and all the Indian medicine and traditional medicine to Nataraj. But continuously, when Jagan is asking about that question, did you complete my book or did you finish printing my book? Nataraj is always postponing that. Nataraj is not ready to print that because there can be a lot of reasons for that. Sometimes actually Nataraj will think that this type of book is not essential for the people at the end of the day after the printing. If somebody did not buy the book, then that will become a huge problem, right? Um what if they recruit them for some amount of their product? Yeah, they can do as well as Venuja explains. They can definitely do like that as well. But unfortunately, he does not what do you call pay attention towards that. But the most interesting part is that actually this is Nataraj is actually acting here, my dear students. You have to understand that Nataraj is actually acting here because Nataraj knows that okay, if I print this book, what will happen? Nobody will buy this book. Then what will happen? Right? Then that will be a definite disadvantage for me. So the best thing is that I can continue telling like this, okay, this is the scenario, so I will definitely print my book and all. But the most important and most interesting fact is when Mali is going to start a new business, actually he gave a contract of printing some leaflets. So within 1 day this job is done, right? Within 1 day this job is done. But Jagat has given this book to print like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, but still the job has not done. Can you understand? So here also we can see how money works, right? How money works, because like definitely Mali must have given some kind of a amount before the what do you call the task is going to take place, and because of that reason, obviously the Nataraj has completed his work. So when next day also when Jagan went to Mr. Nataraj and when he discussed about the fact what happened, actually Nataraj explains that. That is the problem. That is the problem, Muad. But unfortunately, Jagan is actually not paying that attention, right? That is another problem that we have actually here. So Jagan is having that problem a lot. So then what happens? Jagan gets the news that actually this Nataraj explains him that don't you know that your son is going to start a business called Mali Enterprises, and he has used your name as a business promoter, and he has used your name as a business promoter. So what are you going to do now, right? So Jagan did not have any idea whatsoever about this, and Jagan wanted to go and ask that from his son. So we actually asked that from his son, why did you use my name as a business promoter? So Mali is asking, why should I ask from you? At the end of the day, you only have one son. So why should I ask from you that whether I want to use your name or not? There's no point of asking. At the end of the day, is it actually illegal, Buddha? It is totally illegal, right? Obviously illegal. That is the question actually Jagan is asking without asking my permission. Why did you use my name as a business promoter into this business? Then Mali says that, why should I ask? You are my father. So definitely I have to use your name because I don't have two fathers. So I can use your name. But then Jagan says that it is true. I am your father. It is true, son. But at least you should have asked from me, no Puta. When you are putting my name, because Malgudi is a very famous town, right? People know me. I have become a very good. I have become a very good president. I have become a very good president to people. So people know about me. They know that I am a Gandhian follower. I am this kind of a businessman. So when you are using my name like that, people will get upset about that, right? Mali is misusing Jagan, using his love as a weak point. Exactly, very good. That is what I am going to explain, Sasidhu. Thank you so much. Right? Mali is actually using Jagan's love as a weak point. Can you understand? That is what that day also I have explained. So Mali is using that actually. He is using that and he tells, right, okay, so I'm your son, so I can do whatever I like. I can sell you a name, right? Malgudi is not a real place, Putra. Malgudi is not a real place, but throughout Malgudi, Jagan is a very famous person. Jagan is very famous in Malgudi. Jagan is known as a very famous character. Malgudi is an imaginary town. If you go to India, there is no town called Malgudi, right? This is kind of an imaginary town. We are discussing about an imaginary town. So when you take R.K. Narayan's all the novels, right? Most of the novels by R.K. Narayan, actually, you can see that almost all the stories are actually based on this imaginary place. Almost all the stories are actually based on this imaginary place, like the English teacher, Swami and Friends. Most of the most popular novels by R.K. Narayan actually based on this imaginary Malgudi town, right? So when you read these novels, you can understand that. Exactly, Venuja. That is what I'm going to explain here. Mali is taking Jagan for granted because now, as I have explained to you, Mali is not famous in the village. Nobody knows Mali, but Jagan is very famous. So when Jagan's name is there, people don't have any second thoughts that to invest money or to help the business or to join with the business. People don't think twice. People don't think twice because they believe in Jagan. They know that Jagan is a respectable person. There are certain problems. I am not telling that Jagan is the complete 100% correct character. Don't think like that. He's not an ideal character. There are problems. We all have problems, no, Puta. We all have weaknesses. Jagan also have got some weaknesses, but yet people believed in him. People believed in him because he read Bhagavad Gita and he was a very famous, what do you call, businessman, and he was a very successful businessman. Vendor of sweets is very famous actually, right? So later we can see that people who are doing other jobs, people who are his competitors are actually coming to visit him, right? Later in the novel we can see that. So as Venuja suggested, actually Mali is taking the grant, or Mali is taking the maximum advantage from Jagan here now. Now here, Mali understood that he can, the only way that he can promote this business in the town, in this village actually, using his father's name. Today also in Sri Lanka, there are a lot of sons like that who are using their father's name and they try to, do the business, right? Yeah, exactly, right? People, bought those Bitcoin and all. Exactly, Sasid, you are correct, right? So this is something very bad actually. This is something very bad that we are discussing in the story. So that is okay. He is the son. There is no doubt about that. But without asking his father, he cannot take that name. He cannot take that name, and he has done something actually illegal. At the end of the day, Jagan clearly says that all fathers are not like Jagan. Yes, that is true. But the thing is, Muad, I'm trying to explain here, your father, my father, or any father in the society, they have made some kind of an impression on Uta, some kind of a personality. They have built that. Sometimes they have earned that, right? For a long period of time, they have earned that because you are very good. It is not ethical like that, right? So if you are a real son, you should have to stand up by your own legs. You should not ask the help of your father and all. They will obviously help, but you should stand up. However, you should stand up. That is the reality. That is the way, right? But unfortunately, this father is not going to be. This father is obviously going to help. But the problem is that son is showing some kind of notorious reactions. That is the problem, right? So this is the major problem that we discuss in chapter number 6 about this Mali Enterprises. And Mali, without asking from his father, he has taken the name of his father as a business promoter in his business in order to grow up his business, right? But Jagan did not like that. This furthermore created problems between father and son. Can you understand? This furthermore created problems between father and son. So he did not like that, right? Because the reason is that, yeah, yeah, I saw that, right? There are certain problems like that. So what to do, right? So that part you have to remember, my dear students, right? So and the next part is that soon after we finish that, within a month, we have to write all the difficult words and their meanings. I'm actually planning that, and we will do that as well. So we will try to finish this as soon as possible. We are still in chapter number 6. We have 13 chapters to discuss with the quotation. So when I am reading the book, I am not referring to any quotations, because all the important quotations I have given in this presentation in red color. What are the quotations that you have to study, right? While walking, Jagan had mixed emotions about Mali's actions. He was upset that his son has granted him for his business purposes. As our Venuja, I don't know, I think Venuja suggested, he has taken his father's name for the business advantage, not because he is his father, because we can see that there is another example in this story where Mali says that when Jagan says that, Puta, why don't you do this type of business? Don't you like to take my shop? You can take my shop and you can do that. Then Mali is telling to Jagan, do you think that I also want to be a vendor like you? I have different plans. So he is putting his father into that level. He's telling that, do you think that I also want to be a mitai wala? Mitai wala means kind of a very low job in India, right? The low caste, the caste effect is there now in India. So mitai wala means a very low job, right? Even though they earn money, it was taken as a very low job, low level job, right? So he's asking, do you think that I also want to be like you, right? I have different plans. He never thinks that his father has born and his father has given all the facilities, all the luxuries to him by doing this job, right? His father has done immense sacrifices for the betterment of himself, right? And what do you call that? That is the reality. But unfortunately, Mali did not understand that. This is the problem that we are going to refer in this story. However, when he goes home, he saw a green car. There is a spelling mistake. Green car in front of his house. Grace explained to him that Mali has bought that car for the business. Now, then we can see the problem. Now he has already bought a car also from whatever the money that he has. So can you understand? Before starting a business, he is actually wasting money as a businessman, as a high class businessman. But he does not have started the business even. But he has started to spend all the money which he actually borrowed from Grace and other people. That is why at the end of the day, in the 13th chapter, we can see that Mali has a failure. Even though Mali has got good ideas, but the problem is that they are not practical. They are not practical when it comes to Malgudi town. That is the biggest problem actually he faced. Grace explained to him that Mali has brought that car for the business. Jagan wanted to ask how did he pay for it, but he did not ask like that, right? So he wanted to ask as a father, seriously, you have money to buy a car, right? I don't know how did you buy that. So okay, you have bought that, however. Jagan did not like to have any conversation with them. Now Jagan understood that Mali is not actually stepping towards his path. This one actually understood by Jagan. Jagan knew that now he is not going to be successful. He is not actually walking at that path now. He has become a different type of person. So I should not be bothered about him now. Now actually he is bothering. Even chapter number 7, even chapter number 8, he bothers. But soon after he realizes that there is no point of bothering, because when we come to a certain extent in life, certain limitations in life, right? Children actually run from on their own. They don't belong to us. But in Asian culture, our parents and children attachment is such that after their marriage also, our parents are going behind them and searching what the hell they are doing. Because you can say that because they love them, but the problem is you should not do like that. Those attachments should given up. Otherwise, at the end of the day, we have to suffer a lot. That is why a lot of parents are actually suffering after the marriage of their children, where their children never come to see them, where their children never come to talk with them. Likewise, so these problems arises because, like, from their mind, they are suffering. They think that they are still their children. That is true, but they are grown-ups now. They can take their own decisions. Even Jagan thought like that. Jagan always thought like that. He is my son. I should help him. But Jagan always forgets that actually he is a grown-up man. He's a grown-up man now. He can take his own decisions. That is the problem, right? Grace explained to him that Mali has brought that car for the business. Jagan wanted to ask how did he pay for it, but he did not ask like that. Jagan did not like to have any conversation with them. He did not pose any question to Mali, and he always stayed inside the puja room. Then Mali is not able to talk with him. See, will you? Now he has selected a small puja room and he always waited there by without what do you call walking here and there inside this large house, because then when he was inside the puja room, Mali will always think that he is doing some kind of religious observances, then I should not bother him, right? He's not actually doing that, but Mali will not bother him, right? So he can actually detach from all these conversations, because he understood that whenever he is going to start a conversation with Mali, it ends up with some kind of a misery. So he did not like that person. Can you understand? That is the basic problem actually he faced. He did not pose any question to Mali, and he always stayed inside the puja room. Then Mali is not able to talk with him. Jagan understood that Mali has become a different character. At the same time, Gracie is also supporting for his actions. Now this is something very important, right? As I have explained to you last week, you have to remember that we have two female characters in this novel, right? There can be a question from these characters where the support actually given by Ambika to Mali. On the other hand, the support actually given by Grace to Mali. Now, whatever the problems actually happen between Grace and Mali, we can see that Grace is giving the fullest support. As she's not actually the wife, but as a couple of as exactly this, right? So as a couple, we know that they are not married, but as a couple, what do you call, Grace actually helped a lot. Grace can be taken as a very supportive wife. On the other hand, Ambika cannot be taken as a supportive wife, right? This is what we call contrast between the characters, because Ambika never liked that traditional qualities, that orthodox Hindu mannerisms are not actually enjoyed by Ambika. Ambika never enjoyed that. So Ambika did not like that. That is why Ambika actually rejected Jagan. And we should not forget that they did not marry, they did not have that relationship called living together. They didn't live together actually. It is actually a proposed marriage. So you have to understand there is a big vast difference in these characters. That is called characterization. When you refer to characters, you should be able to write these differences. Yeah, Mali's what do you call, girlfriend, she is not actually wife, but she seems like the wife, because he says that this is my wife. She is very supportive. Now whatever the things that Mali is going to do, right, she is continuously supporting until the moment that Mali said that I am not going to marry you. Until that moment actually she is very supportive. Then Mali openly said that I can't marry you because I don't have enough money and I am not I'm not in a stable position to marry you. Can you understand? At that moment only she realizes the truth, and she actually goes out of the house, and she meets Jagan, and she explains that she was really happy that she is not pregnant. Otherwise, she will be in a great problem, right? So these are the ideas that what you call the writer tries to bring here. So remember about the characters as well. Mali is not able to talk with him. Jagan understood that Mali has become a different character. At the same time, Grace is also supporting for his actions. Jagan selected the small room and waited there. He did not use that main door to exit. He secretly entered the house. He did not like to be noticed. Right. So Jagan is actually trying to have a different type of a life. Right. Mali is an ungrateful and narrow-thinking person. Yes, narrow-minded person rather, Amaya. That is the explanation that we can give. But there are reasons, no, Amaya. In order to become a narrow-minded person, there are reasons, Puta. You have to remember that as well. Now, when we take a novel, we can't. Now, when we take characters, Amaya, all these characters are symbolizing our life. Each and every person that we meet in our day-to-day life, right? Ambika, we each and every day we meet a lot of Ambikas, lot of Graces, lot of Jagans. We meet them. So in these characters, right, there are no 100% bad characters. There are no 100% good characters. Now here, if you take Mali's character, Mali has become what you call like this because the reason is that yeah, exactly. Now as Veneju says, he should lift off all these luxurious things that actually given by Jagan to Mali. Now the problem occurs after Ambika's death. I have explained to you, Amaya, like all these problems occurred after Ambika's death, because as I have explained to you, Ambika and Mali, they had a very good relationship as son and mother. They had a very great relationship, right? That is actually explained in chapter number 4, right? Soon after, Mali got the idea that my mother died because of my father's foolish behavior or belief. From that day onwards, actually problems started in between them. So it actually created a huge impact. Can you understand? It actually created a very huge impact. Then only Mali realizes that actually he want to climb up the social ladder in a different manner. He doesn't want to be like his father. So he actually hated that behavior. Now, the biggest problem that we have, that the orthodox behavior of Jagannath, which is not actually going in beyond with the time period. Jagan always believes that traditionality is the only cure. Traditionality is the only medicine. Traditionality is the only survival. That is the idea that he had. But these modern people, they did not like that. Not only Grace, not only Mali, but also Ambika. Even Ambika did not like that. We can't say that Ambika is a modern person. But even Ambika did not like that, because Ambika herself understood that certain ideas that Jagan brings are actually foolish. Now take the idea that all the toothbrushes are made from pig's tail. Take that idea. Even after knowing that all the toothbrushes are not made from pig's tail, he was not ready to give up his idea. He was not ready to refuse his idea. This is what we call blindfolded, blind foolishness. Blind foolishness towards the religion, towards the culture, towards the tradition. Now we have to accept a certain traditional thing, Amaya. Number one, it is traditional. Yes, even our parents also actually practice that. Number two, it should be logical. It should be logical to the modern world. If it is not logical, we should not actually take that tradition. We must not. We must not take that tradition if it is, not logical. Right? If it is not rational, if it is not logical, why should we bring that tradition to the world? Why should we continue that tradition even though our parents took that? That is the problem here. So Mali can be taken as that kind of a child because of the wrong parenting as well. Amaya, I have explained those things. What do you mean by wrong parenting? Wrong parenting means actually Jagan did not identify how to raise a child. Only child. He pampered him really well. Gave all the luxuries and all the facilities. At the end of the day, Jagan became the ATM machine for Mali. And when Jagan is actually when Mali is doing some kind of a bad thing, Jagan is not advising as well. Remember these things, huh? Sometimes there can be a question. Vendor of Sweets by R.K. Narayan can be taken as a book which clearly explains about the wrong parenting of parents, right? Comment on the statement with relevant examples. There can be a question like that, wrong parenting. So Jagan never asked. Now, even though when Mali is actually taking all the money from Jagan's shop, right? It is actually stealing. Jagan never asked, why did you take money? He never asked. Actually, he was happy about that. At the end of the day, this boy can do some work by his own. As a father, he became very proud about that. So that is totally wrong. He should actually advise his son, right? If he continuously tries to do that, sometimes Mali will go out of the house, but he most probably he will learn a lesson. He will learn a lesson. Now, at the end of the day, he becomes a drunkard because no one was there to teach him. No one was there to advise him. And he was not even in a position to understand whatever the advices given by other people, right? That is the major problem. Yeah, from the how did the little one means from that he actually heard when the doctor says that if you have given the Western medicine, she could have been saved. The doctor says that at the Ambika's deathbed, the doctor explains that. And little Mali, not little, is actually at the age of grade 5 or grade 6, right? So he heard that, and he knew that his father never allowed mother to take medicine, and he said that to her Mali also, you should not touch them, they are poison. There is a quotation I have given here, right? You should not touch them, they are poison. But when the doctor said that if you continue to have all these Western medicine, she could have saved, then he understood that his father is the only reason, right? uh, yeah, heart in two pieces out, the doctor said that, exactly, right? Exactly. So when the doctor explains that, he heard that and he identified that, and from that day onwards only all the problems began. And don't think that we can't remember when we are very small. We can remember a lot of things in our life which were actually happened to us when we were very small. We have that everything in our mind. We don't like to take them out. There are certain bad memories in all of us, right? But we don't like to take them out. This is one of that bad nightmare memory that he had. Can you understand, right? This is something that you have to understand. So he understood about that. So did you write about that? If you have any problems, please ask Chandira, Deuni, Vinod, Disani, Stefani, Sumaduri. Sumaduri, do you have any questions? You can ask if you have any questions. Krishika, if you have any questions, please ask. Now, still we have the conflict between father and son, right? We are still referring to that. Right? Very good, Damaya. Right? Jagan is the main reason for Mali's change and downfall. Can be taken as a major reason, but there are other reasons as well. Now, since because father is that type of a fellow, son should not be like that. He can take the examples from the society. He can be a good person, right? But he also had that. He was very arrogant actually. Mali was very much arrogant. Because of that reason only, he actually failed in the character. He was very arrogant character. He always wanted to have a fight, right? Very arrogant character. So we can see that in his character, right? Something very bad that he possesses in his character, right? So he always wanted to have a fight. Very arrogant character. We can see that from the story, right? Okay. Right, we will go to the next one. Did you write this one, Puta? Are you okay with this one? Others are not giving any messages. I hope that they can hear me. Ravina, are you okay with that? We have this Rishit Puta, who just joined today. Don't be upset. When you move on with the story, you will understand what I am trying to explain you guys, right? Right, okay. Chapter number 6, we have a quotation also here. Mali ordered Jagan to come and have a conversation finally. Mali ordered, right? We have a spelling mistake here. Mali ordered Jagan to come and have a conversation. Ordered, right? It's not actually some word actually given by him in order to keep some kind of as a son. You can't order your father, right? Whatever said and done, he is your father, right? So he actually ordered, right? He actually ordered his father that you have to do something like that. You have to come, right? In order to have the conversation, right? To come and have a conversation finally. Jagan said that he wanted to go to the shop. Jagan tried to refuse that. Jagan did not like. Jagan said that I don't want to come. He wanted to go to the shop. But Mali insisted that he should talk with him. Right? Mali insisted. Mali said that no, this is something very important. I want to have a conversation with him. Mali asked whether he received the leaflet which he mailed to shop. Right now he is telling that I have mailed something to your shop. The leaflet which he saw at Nataraja's printing shop. Did you receive that? Even though Jagan got that, he did not show any emotions. There we have show SHOW. We have some spelling mistakes here. Don't take them serious. Right? He didn't show any emotions. Mali asked that whether Jagan is okay with the idea of becoming a promotional assistant for his business. Right? Now only he is asking. Now only he is asking from his father, but father has already knew about that. But unfortunately, now only what you call he's okay to ask. Now only he's okay to ask. Jagan did not have any answer. He waited silently. Mali was angry and furious. He shouted at Jagan, telling that even after he has described about his business, why Jagan can't take a direct decision about that? So he's asking now, I have explained to you what I am going to do. I am going to bring all these story writing machines, and then you said that you don't know the function of story writing machines. Then I have explained to you, but now you don't have a direct decision whether you are going to become a business partner or not. Can you please tell me? I can't run my business like that. I want my business promoter. So if you don't like to be a business promoter, you can tell them. Jagan didn't give any answer. He waited silently. Mali was angry and furious. He shouted at Jagan, telling that even after he has described about his business, why Jagan can't take a direct decision about that. Jagan asked that what day was it? Mali explained the very first day. Then Jagan asked that what day did you say like that? I can't remember actually. You said something like that. Mali explained the very first day. Jagan replied he thought that Mali would inform him about this before going to the press. Right. So he said that I actually hope that as my son, you will explain all these things to me before going to the shop. But unfortunately, you did not do like that. But you did not do like that. I didn't have any idea about this. So now you are telling that you have mailed that. See how hypocritic he is. Very much the hypocrisy that he has. He has mailed that. Father and son are actually living in the same house. Can you understand? He could have given that by hand, no man. Tata, there is a certain, what do you call this thing, you can join with this. But see the hypocrisy of the character, he has mailed that to the shop. He's that kind of a character, right? So Jagan replied he thought that Mali would inform him about this before going to the press. he said that he had got to know about this from the printer, Nataraj. I really don't know what you mean. You expect everything to be said 10 times. No wonder nothing gets done in this country. Traditionality and modernity, right? Very sarcastic sound of Mali, exactly. Traditionalism and modernism, right? So Mali clearly explains whatever the what you call dual characteristics exactly can be seen here. I really don't know what you mean. You expect everything to be said 10 times. No wonder nothing gets done in this country, right? Always I have to explain you again and again what I am trying to do here. This quotation is actually uttered by Mali. This quotation can be taken as a very good example for traditionalism and modernism, one of the major themes that we have in the story, right? Because Mali believed that in India, hypocrisy means puta, like we call that, what do you call this? Uh, what do you call some kind of a social status that you try to show to the world that you don't have. Hypocrisy. Now, if you take Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde, the girl is having some kind of a hypocrisy. She tried to intend to the people that she is kind of a first class girl and from the first social class and all. Hypocrisy. You have some kind of arrogance, right? So you want to show that you are different from the other people, but you are not. Yeah, something called kuhakakama. Yeah, exactly. Kuhakakama, hypocrisy, something related to that, right? තාත්තට ඕක ගිහිල්ලා අපේ දෙන්න පුළුවන් නේ. ඕක යවන්න ඕනේ නෑනේ බොරුවට මේ කැපෑලෙන් යවන්න ඕනේද? It's no, you don't have to do that, no, I mean, but he said like that, right? He said like that. So can you understand what kind of hypocrisy that he has? This is something very bad. We never expect something from a son. But this red color quotation is very important for you, my dear students. So whatever the weaknesses that father has got, he is actually relating that to the weaknesses of the country. Can you understand? The weakness can be seen in father, right? So for he is actually an old man. So sometimes you have to remember certain things again and again. He's old and feeble. People are like that. Even you and me also like that. One day we will become like that. Can you understand? So he's an old person, but here he is taking that reference into the country. Not only you, this country also a bullshit. Nothing gets happen here. I have to tell 10 times. We have to, what do you call, go here and there to get our work done. Right? We have to go here and there. We have to waste a lot of time, just like you only. So he's telling that my father is also like that. In order to tell something, I have to tell like 10 times that this country is also something like that. Something very difficult that we can't get the job done. I don't know what is the reason for that. Right? So this quotation is something very important which explains about this traditionality and modernity. We will explain that in the next slide. You can write down that. You can write down this. So always remember, when I'm what do you call, shifting to a slide, start your writing. My explanation, you can however hear that is actually passive. The active part is you should write down. Then each and every, when you read the book, you have the notes with you. You know that, okay, chapter number 6, this thing happened. Chapter number 9, this thing happened. Then you know that in the story, these are the things actually happened. These are things actually occurred, right? Okay, so if you have any problems, please ask. Any problems? Amaya, Rifla, Ruani, sorry, not Ruani, Ranmini. So today I just want to explain, tell you that grade 10 and grade 11 students, I hope that you have the idea of being a Google Classroom. I'm going to make a Google Classroom for grade 10 and grade 11 separately. Where you have to send me your email numbers. Please send your email numbers to your particular group, right? Grade 11 WhatsApp group or grade 10 WhatsApp group, where I will make I will add all of them to a common group, where I will put some question papers, and then what you have to do is you have to upload your answers to the Google Classroom. See, when you send your email address, I will save you in my Google Classroom, and you will get a notice in your Gmail saying that I have sent you a invitation to accept to join with my Google Classroom. Then soon after you accept that, you will be there in my Google Classroom, and you can see all the work that I'm going to put here, because we have to start writing as well. So please make sure to send your email addresses. What do you call? Please send all those email addresses, because I'm going to check your writing now, right? Because now we have done now up to some 3 or 2 poems also, grade 11s we have done. Now we have to write answers. Now we have to check that what kind of writing that you are going to do. So that is how it goes. So some students are actually available how Google Classroom works. So others, what you have to do is you have a separate WhatsApp group. Grade 10-1 and grade 11-1 I have divided. So grade 10-1, send your email addresses to that WhatsApp group. I will add you. Once I add you, you go there and you accept that. Then you can see all the past papers and all the essay type questions which I put there. What you have to do is that you have to upload your answers there. You can write your answer and you can take a photograph and you can upload to the Google Classroom. Then in the Google Classroom, I will mark that answer and I will write my comment. Then I will directly send that to you from my email, right? So you can then check that what kind of mistakes that you have done. And the next thing is that, yeah, you can do like that, right? So just take a clear photographs, right? Clear photographs, otherwise I can't find out. So soon after this session, make sure to send you a Gmail number where I will send you a lot of what you call papers. I have received a lot of papers in literature where I can share those things with you, right? Really, yeah, okay. I will make that you also can. But grade 10, Amaya, your group can what you call comment with me, right? We are discussing about the how to keep classes and okay, right, okay, fine. Grade 11-1, I have not. Normally, I don't do like that. Students can give their opinions in the groups because I believe in my students. We have okay, right, okay, right, okay. So who are actually blocked there, so they can send me my personal mobile number. You can send your emails because I have a lot of materials with me. I can't share with you like past papers, model papers, my tutorials which I have made for literature, right? A lot of things are there. So in Google Classroom, I can share those things with you and we can improve them. Can we by heart any one theme in the poem category? When it comes to poetry, I will tell you this thing. Okay, right. So that is okay, Sasidhu. When it comes to poetry, I will tell you one thing. If you are going to write your exam 2021 or 2022, English literature, basically, we have how many poems? We have actually altogether we have 5 themes, right? Under one theme, we have 4 poems, right? So you have society, you have humor, you have nature, likewise. However, 5 questions will be there. 5 questions will be there from poetry, which means 5 poems will be there as questions, where each and every poem will represent one theme, right? Each and every poem that one you have to have that idea, Sasidhu. Otherwise, that is not going to work. පොඩ්ඩක් කපටි වෙන්නත් ඕනේ ළමයි. නැත්තම් මේක කරන්න බෑනේ. හරිද? You should be මේ කපටි නෙමෙයි මම මේකට කියන්නේ smart. You should be smart. එහෙම smart උන් නැත්තම් ළමයි එහෙම නැතුව මේක කරන්න බෑ. Some students are actually reading all the 20 poems and they are by hearting all the 20 poems. You don't have to do like that. First and foremost, you have to select one category. Okay, I am going to write from nature. Just imagine that you are going to write from humor. All right, humor. How many poems are there in the category of humor? 4. You have what do you call this Upside Down by Alexander Kushner, and you have this what do you call you have other 3 poems I can't remember. Camel Thump, likewise you have 4 poems, right? However, you will have 4 poems. Now what you have to do is that you have to study all those poems like really well, because from those 4 poems only you are going to answer. But I suggest you have to go for another category, because in case something happens to humor, because sometimes even though you know the poems, there can be a very bullshit question. Some words will be there, some vocabulary will be there, you have not heard even that word. Then Puta, you can't write an answer, no Puta, you can clearly understand that, right? So then you have to shift for another theme. It can be society, it can be nature. So the best thing is to have 2 options with you, which means out of 20 poems, you have to read only 8 poems very carefully. But those 8 poems should be like thud, like you have to like, what is the place that they ask, you should tell. 8 poems should be like by heart, like nothing. 8 poems out of 28 poems, 12 poems you can give up. I'm telling about the writing part, right? Second paper. So with that 8 poems only you are getting ready. That 8 poems only you are getting ready. So most of the students, they only study 4 poems, but it is okay. I'm not, but it is a risk. You are taking a bloody risk there, because like sometimes You will get caught and you will understand that from this poem I'm not going to write. Even though you know the poem, you can't write. There are certain incidents like that. You know the poem really well, but you can't understand the question. Then there is a problem. Understood? So definitely two categories, two themes. One theme, 4 poems, two themes, 8 poems. Get ready with 8 poems. Understood? That is for poetry. Short stories, again my answer is same. Go with two different short stories with two different themes. Right? Now, if you take Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde, you have love and this and that. Lahore Attack, love and bravery, and all those things are there. So always keep two. My personal idea is not to go with lumber. That is my personal view as teacher, because language is very difficult, right? There are a lot of themes, but you can write language is something very difficult, and the quotations are also something very difficult to study. So keep lumber room, read lumber room for context questions, but when you are writing answers, you should be able to select the most easy one. Now, why I have selected Vendor of Sweets by R.K. Narayan? This is the most easy one. So that is why we should try. If you take the other one, Prince and the Pauper, right? Language is very much difficult, right? Very much difficult. Even what you call the teacher can't understand the language. So how you are going to study the quotations? That is the problem. Understood? So you have to be very careful about that. That is called smart. Sometimes if you want to study that after O-level exam, you buy Prince and the Pauper and you read at home. If you want to learn literature, right? You buy the book and you read at home. If you have some free time, you enjoy, right? But the exam, like we have to have, because we have 8 subjects now, Buta. Literature is not the only subject that you have. You have science. I don't want to explain about the size of the science book. I don't want to explain about that, no, Buta. You have brains, right? I don't have to explain about the size of the science book, right? I don't want to explain that. So you know the situation, Nambo, this is what's going to happen. So you have to go through with other 8 subjects as well. And mathematics is also there, right? And when you take Sinhala Vichara, like done, and Ityasa done. So difficult, no, Buddha, can't do like that. You are doing a very difficult subject. So you have to find out what is the most easy method that I can follow through. Easy means like writing perspective. However, questions will be difficult, right? From the writing perspective. So don't take any risk. Don't take any risk, right? So it's a risk that you are going to take, right? So that is what I want to explain you guys, something very important that you have to follow when it comes to literature, right? So get ready with the, don't take any risk. The only risk that you are going to make is when it comes to the novel, because you don't study 2 novels. But when you know the novel very well, there is no risk actually. You can, what you call, write any question that they ask if you have the quotations. Nothing will happen. Now in Vendor of Sweets, what are the questions that they can ask about the characterization? About the, what you call, traditionality and modernity, love and affection, or whatever the themes that we have discussed, the marriage and money and all these concepts, right? Apart from that, they are not going to ask about war and weather changes, climatic changes. These things they won't ask no. However, they have to go around the character. Now last year, nobody actually expected that question. They asked about Kasin's character. Can you understand? So that is why I am asking you to pay much more attention towards Ambika and Grace, because even though they are what you call sub characters, there can be a question like that. Contrast and compare Ambika and Grace. There can be a question like that in your paper, right? I think I have entered that. Right? Some questions I have targeted and I have entered. If I'm not mistaken, see how many things that you have to study. What is the first question? Had Ambika been alive, there wouldn't have been a conflict between Jagan and Mali. Discussed with reference to the novel Vendor of Sweets. Okay, that is my first question. What evidence do you find to say that Jagan follows Gandhian principles in Vendor of Sweets? All are actually target questions, are questions made by myself. Then we have, according to the novel Vendor of Sweets, how does the conflict between father and son developed as a conflict between two cultures of East and West? Right, yeah, 3 questions I have actually discussed. So we have discussed more, we will discuss, right? So these are things actually you have to follow, right? ඉතින් ඒ වගේ පොඩ්ඩක් teams එක යද්දි පොඩ්ඩක් සැලකිලිමත් වෙන්න. And your school teacher will also help you a lot, right? And take the maximum help that you can take from her as well, right? So there are good teachers, right, who can help you a hell of a lot. But I am doing my level best, right? Okay, so we have been discussed about right here. No, but there are some school teachers actually, they don't have any idea, right? So what to do? So did you write this one, Puta? Did you finish this one? I hope you guys finished, right? Okay, thank you, right? Because the next one you have a lot of quotations. Now here, Jagan was really upset that when Mali is blaming his motherland. Now, yeah, that's what I have explained. Then බලන්නකො මේ තාත්තා කරපු වැරද්ද තමන්ගේ මාතෘ භූමියට මෙයා බයින විදිය. කොච්චර පහතට දාලා තමන්ගේ රට ගැන කතා කරන්නේ. How he discuss about, how he express his feelings about his motherland. Sometimes we also get the same feeling when they are giving some kind of foolish decisions, right? So we actually blame our motherland and we expect to go to another country. That is what happens. That is the reality, Puta. Jagan was really upset that when Mali is blaming his motherland, and he added, why do you blame the country for everything? Right? So Jagan is asking, right? So we can see that traditionalism, traditionality, his love for the country, patriotism. Why do you blame the country for everything? It has been good enough for 400 millions, Jagan said, remembering the heritage of Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. You were not born in those days. I don't know what you are talking about. I want to get on with business. We had 2 long sessions and I have told you everything. I don't want to do what you call, I don't like to listen to your Bana sermon or Dhamma preaching or something. I don't know what you are talking about. I want to get on with my business, right? We had 2 long sessions and I told you what I'm going to do, right? So Mali says like that. But Jagan says that, why do you blame the country for everything? Why you are blaming this country? Right? You don't know that we have this kind of a culture. Now this Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana again explains about the culture. So that is why I am giving you these red color quotations. You have to by heart. By heart means when you are studying, you take a piece of paper and you write down all the quotations and you keep it somewhere pasted. And whenever you are looking at, when you are bored and all, when you look at that, you will remember. That is what happens when you are going to the bed, right? At night, you should have certain look about that. And each and every day when you are doing like, naturally, all the quotations you can remember. That is what happens, right? That is what you have to do. Even you have to do some sacrifice, no, Puta, right? You are coming to tuition classes and you are doing your notes. That is true, right? Mali disrespects and backstabs his own country. Exactly. Why he is doing that? Soon after going to America, he became a different character. Understood? Soon after going to America, he became an American. But he forgot that he is going to live in Malgudi. That is called the problem of identity. In this novel, we are talking in that level, problem of identity. Mali did not identify the real value of his life, and he did not understand that how to survive, how to adapt. We discuss about that, adaptation, the problem of adaptation, right? I don't know what you are talking about. I want to get on with the business. We had 2 long sessions and I have told you everything. When the conversation heated, Jagan understood that Mali is expecting $50,000 from him. $50,000. But Jagan did not have that amount of money with him. He explained, I am a poor man. Gandhi always advocated poverty, not riches. Right? So again, we can think that exactly Venuja. That is exactly correct, right? So he actually brought up this conversation because he needed money to start up his business, to give some kind of a startup to his business, right? So Jagan says that I am a poor man. Gandhi always advocated poverty, not riches, right? So I am a Gandhian follower. Don't you know that actually most of the people who are around Gandhi is poor people? Don't you know about that? I am also a Gandhian follower. That is the problem. That is the problem. Mali could have very easily do that, but the problem is he actually wanted to show off. He came back to his country and he wanted to take a good start. But the problem is that you can't start a business like that. You have to do some ground research. You do business studies as a subject. I don't want to explain that, my dear students. You know about the business environment, internal business environment, external business environment. So after doing that research only, we are going to start a business. So Jagan openly tells that, Puta, your store machines are not going to buy by anyone because they don't want to buy. It is not going to be success. Don't think like that. Why you are having this foolish idea? Something very foolish. And yet you earn 1,000 rupees a day, said Mali with vicious smile. See that? Ah, you are a Gandhian follower. You are a poor man, and yet you earn 1,000 rupees a day. 1,000 rupees a day, and said Mali with a vicious smile. So Mali knew that how much money his father is going to earn. Understood? He knew that. So he gave the correct amount. He said that, ඔයා ගාන්ධියන් පල ඔයා හිඟන්නනේ ඔයාට සතපාක්වත් අතේ නෑ. හැබැයි ඔයා දවසට රුපියල් 1000ක් කම්බ කරනවා කඩේ. දවසට 1000ක් means 30 days 30,000. 60 days 60,000. 90 days 90,000. 30,000 means like average, no mean more than 1,000 obviously he will make, right? So this is what happens. Mali guessed that Jagan is earning profits from his business. Right, Mali guessed that. I don't know whether Jagan is actually having profits or not. Don't ask from me whether he is actually earning profits. I don't know about that. But however, the bad thing is you should not tell like that. No. Now normally we don't go to our father and ask that, Tata, how much you earn monthly? He will give us a nice shot. And as boys, never try that, right? So they will go mad. So you go to your mama and ask, Mama, how much you are going to earn monthly? Right? So we don't ask like that. As you said, that is ethics. We don't normally tell like that. That is called ethical things. You don't ask from them, no. Sometimes you might know about that, but you don't ask like that, right? Even boys will agree with me. You can't ask like that, right? If they are giving you food and all the beverages and everything, you can't ask like that, no. So Mali did not think about the wages of his workers and the bill. Yeah, exactly, Sasidhu, you are correct. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said, exactly. That's why I said, but Mali was not afraid to his father. Why? That is the fault of Jagan, because Jagan did not punish him properly when he needed to be punished. Understood? When he needed to be punished, Jagan did not do that as a father. Jagan is a failure. Now, son becomes the father and father becomes the son now. The reverse of characters now, reversal characters. Father is afraid and son is actually showing giving all these 1,000 talks and everything. Can you understand why this happened? Because as a father, he did not do that properly. What is that proper advising? I am not going to tell that take a stick and hit your son or daughter. But there is a certain time period that we have to do that as parents. When you get to the age 14 and 15 and 16, we can't take a stick and hit you. You are not that in that type of situation. Now, I am really happy as a teacher, right? At least for more than 1 hour, you guys are with me from this computer. Do you know that how many students actually do jokes and gay jokes when they are participating for the online classes? As a teacher, I am really happy. Some young students, they got together and they actually participate for the class, right? They participate and they try to learn something. I don't know whether you might have seen that, how many the disgusting things that happens in online classes, that what kind of problems that actually teachers are facing, right? So you might have seen, no, that is the reality. So as parents, yeah, that's what. So we have like that. So we have to always accept what the students say. That is why I really like to do it as a conversation, but that sound problem is there. Otherwise, I like to have a good conversation with you guys, with other children. I can ask from them whether your father is also like that, whether my father is very much like that. So likewise, we all have same experience, teachers, students, and everyone, right? So that is what, right? So I'm really happy as students, you guys are enjoying and engaging. Right? I don't know whether you enjoy, but you guys are engaging. You ask questions, right? Ishani and everyone, right? Ishani also asked some good questions about marriage and about life and everything. Yeah, that's literature. Those are the questions that you can't discuss in the maths period or science period. You can directly ask from the teacher, because we are dealing with them anger, suffocation, right? Betrayal. Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde. Betrayal. Virahava, right? Betrayal. Everything is there. Everything is there. So this is what we discuss. Literature. Laughter. When we take humorous poems, laughter, right? So we discuss about everything. This is life. So why father has become like that? Because of his own weaknesses. You can write like that, right? Because of his own weaknesses. He never thought that his son will behave like this. He never thought. He thought that my wife also died. Now he is the only son. As a father, I should provide everything for him. Jagan did not do all the kudu business and all, no, man. He started a legal business. The way that he is going to earn money, that is his problem, Puta. That he's a businessman now, and he's not a charity packet seller. He's a businessman. That is true, right? But he actually provided everything, no, Puta. Think from that perspective, Amaya. Think from that perspective. He never married. He never had a second marriage. He could have married another woman, and he could have started his own life. He never did that. He entirely dedicated his life for the betterment of Mali. He entirely dedicated, right? Actually, Jagan became father and mother both for Mali. Father and mother both. He gave the problems, weaknesses. He gave too much of freedom as a father to his son. Especially for a boy, when you are giving too much of freedom, done. That is why these fathers are blaming and shouting and all. Actually, when I'm in your age, when I was in your age also, I did not realize that. But now I realize. That is why my father was very strict. Every day asking at what time I ask you to come to the house, 6 o'clock. What is the time now? 6:30. Dadam, badang. That's it. Right? So parents are like that. Not because that, but there is a certain age, time period. You can't do like 20. Now I am 29. Now my father can't do that. Right? So now he's not able to do that. But there's a time period. There's a time period. Right? Then we can tell to the students. But after that, you have to be a friend to your son, to your daughter, like a friend. Like a friend. Then only they realize. That is why they say certain things to the teachers, not for their parents. Not for their parents, the teachers, because teachers can easily identify, because most of the time we actually engage with them. We discuss with them and we know the problems that they face. Right? So that is what happens here. Wrong parenting. The results of wrong parenting can be seen in this. වැරදි විදියට දරුවන් ගොඩනැගීමේ ප්‍රතිඵල can be seen here. And yet you earn 1,000 rupees a day, as said Mali, with vicious smile. What kind of right he has got to ask like that, Puta? What is the right that he has as a boy? And if he has worked in the shop for a certain time period without taking money, without, like, in order to help his father, he can tell like this. What is the right, Puta, he has got? After all, stealing his father's money, going to America without informing his father, after stealing his father's money, do you think that he has a right to talk like this? He can't talk like that. But all of these happens because of the wrong parenting. Can you understand? Stefani, I don't know whether you can understand. Tarani and Pavani, Yehansa, Zainab. That's why I'm trying to explain. Right? Some parents punish their children for small thing also, no? So at the end of the day, the children become bad, right? Exactly. That is what. So Jagan, he did not even punish him, but Mali became a bad one, right? That is a very good question, Nishan. That is a very good question. There, Ishani, he had a grudge. Understood? He had a grudge. He had a grudge with his father because he believed, that is the nuclear problem. Nuclear problem. He always believed that my mother died because of bloody, foolish, orthodox behavior of you. And after my mother's death also, you are practicing those bullshit orthodox followers and behaviors. And you are writing books also. He had that grudge. He had that grudge. I will give you examples. I will give you examples. When Grace came to the house, for the first time, right? Then soon after she went to the, what do you call this, Margosa tree, near the Margosa tree, Jagan explained about the value of the Margosa tree. Margosa is tree, something like this and all. So Mali came and said that he will tell number of things to you about the Margosa trees, and he will ask the next day to brush your teeth from Margosa sticks. Don't listen to him. Second one, right? Jagan is asking, what happened to your wife? She cannot be seen inside the house. Then Mali says that, do you think that my wife is a typical Indian bride who always lives inside the house? She's not like that. She's a free woman. She can go wherever she likes. So with those dialogues, Ishani, we can understand, actually Mali was actually full of grudge. He want to take the, what do you call, revenge. Can you understand? He want to take the revenge. Exactly. Mali makes his father suffer too. Exactly, Ravina. Very good girl. මගේ අම්මා මැරුණේ උඹ කරපු ගොම් වැඩ හින්දානේ. ඔය සාම්ප්‍රදායික මගුල් හින්දානේ. දැන් අදවත් කරන්නේ ඒකනේ තාත්තා කෙනෙක් විදියට තාම වෙනස් වෙලා නැහැනේ. මගේ ගෑණිමත් ඒ වලට අද්ද ගන්න තමයි බලන්නේ. You are even trying to, what you call, do the same thing to my wife also. Right? You are trying to do the same thing to my wife also. That was the idea actually he brought up. That was the idea. You are going to do the same thing to my wife as well. Right? You are going to do the same thing to my wife as well. So I am not going to let you do this. Ekai Yeshani. So don't take a misunderstanding, Yeshani, there. Right? You want to what do you call, take that revenge. He was totally upset. With that, Ishani, we can understand what kind of bond he had with his mother. අම්මත් එක්ක කොච්චර බොන්ඩ් එකක් තිබුණාද කියලා අපිට තේරෙනවා යානේ. What kind of bond that he had with his mother, right? So Jagan is a poor excuse of a father and Mali is a demon of a child. Exactly. Poor excuse of a father. Mali is a demon of a child. Exactly. But I am not agreeing with that. I am not agreeing with that. But however, he is trying to do that, right? Mali's talk is not moral. Exactly. That moral value is not there, right? Can you understand, Ishani? That is a very good question. That is a very good question, right? Because Ishani, too much of anything is good for nothing. Too much of anything is good for nothing. Now, Jagan has given too much of freedom. Jagan has never asked, why did you take my money? He always gave the money. He never asked, why are you taking this money? He never asked. He never bothered to ask. He said that at the end of the day, all this property belongs to him. Ah, how foolish. At the end of the day, it is okay that he stole my money and that, what you call, made all these passport and everything. At the end of the day, all these things belong to him. How can a responsible father tell like that? How can a responsible father tell like that? As a responsible father, you can't behave like that. You can't behave like that. You have to punish your children. You have to teach them, Puta, this is wrong. You have done something wrong. You have to make, otherwise the society will punish them. That is what happened. Can you understand? Ishani, father did not punish Mali. At the end of the day, what happened? Society punished him. 13th chapter, he became a drunkard and he was taken to the police because he was driving a vehicle after drinking alcohol. Understood? Society will punish them severely. If you did not get the lesson from the house, then what will happen? My dear boys, I'm telling you, you will be punished by the society. Girls also, not only for the boys, girls also. So you should learn from your house. As a boy, you should learn from your father. As a girl, you should learn from your mother. Then you will understand certain things I should not practice. I can see them. I saw them how they practice, and I knew what are the loopholes, and I should not do that. I should not do that. Why should I do that? Right? So that is the idea. That is the idea that I'm trying to bring here. So try to understand those things. He has a big personality problem, Puta. He has a very big personality problem because he never goes to discuss with his son like openly, because he said that, what do you call, it will dishearten. I don't like to dishearten him because like his mother also died. Poor child, let him be. The quotations. He's a poor child, let him be. I don't want to go and, what do you call, talk to him, otherwise he will think it as a burden. I don't like to continue that. Can you understand? So these things are actually taken into consideration. The conflict between father and son. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රශ්න කරන්නේ මගෙන් theme එකක්. Ishani and Tidasa and Amaya, they are asking about the questions about the theme. The theme is conflict between father and son. පුතා සහ පියා අතර තිබෙන ගැටුම. Conflict. This is the conflict that we are dealing with. Exactly. We have to kill the snake. Exactly. Right? So Jagan did not do that. At the end of the day, the snake became so venomous that then it created a lot of problems to the entire society. He became a nuisance. That is what happened. Right? Okay. Right. The next part, we have a lot to write. So we will wind up the session from there. And please make sure to send your email addresses to my WhatsApp number. I will make the Google Classroom and I will put my papers there, because now we have to start writing. And your writing and your marks will be very much private or full of privacy. Yeah, you can see that I will make personal comments on them, and you can understand that these are the mistakes. Private or to the group, it is better that to the group, then it is much more easy for me, right? If you are not in the group, so you can use my private number, and I will add them, and most probably next week we can start with the paper. We can start with the paper and we can discuss the paper, and you guys can write and you can upload your answers as well for the Google Classroom, right? So I will add you. Please make sure to accept that. Don't tell that, sir, I did not accept and all, because like soon after I add you through the Google Classroom, you have to accept. And to the Google Classroom also come with your name. Don't use your mama's name, papa's name. They are not going to class. Some are using their father's name, so I don't know the fellow. So use your name, your name. Otherwise, that will become a problem. Yes, I got your message, Puta Sasindu. අපි ලියන්න පටන් ගමු ළමයි. දැන් ඇතිනේ දැන් ඉගෙන ගත්තා ඔක්කොම කරා. දැන් ලියන්න එපා. papers වලට ලියන්න ඕනේ. දැන් we should start writing. දැන් ලියන පැත්ත පටන් ගන්න ඕන. අඩුපාඩු බලන්න ඕනේ. grammar mistakes අනම්මනම් ගොඩක් වෙනවනේ. You will see a lot of problems. අපිට බලන්න පුළුවන් මොකද වෙන්නේ ලියද්දි ඔය තියෙන enthusiasm එකම තියෙනවද? When you are doing classes, you have good enthusiasm, but when it comes to writing part, do we have the same enthusiasm? හරිද? ඕක බලන්න ඕනේ. So grade 10s ලා පොඩ්ඩක් promote කරලා ගන්න අපේ දිසානිලා හොඳට ලිව්වා ඉස්සර. සාමාන්‍ය ලියන්න පුළුවන්, but we have to practice. We have to practice. Practice makes you perfect, especially 2021 batch. If you are in my class, කරුණාකරලා මේකට add වෙන්න, කම්මැලි වෙන්න එපා. ඒගොල්ලෝ ලියන්න ඕනේ 2020. I'm not telling that 2022 they have time no පුතා. You have time, but my main concern is 2021. Sometimes you might have 4 classes also. තොර කියන්න එපා, sir, I have a science class. Yeah, I am from Thurston College, Colombo, right? So don't tell me that I have a science class, that day I have a maths class. ඒ සින්දු මට කියන්න එපා. 21 අයට පන්ති දැම්මාම දවස් 7ක් නම් දවස් 4ෙම ඉන්න. අමතර ගාණක් ගන්න නෑනේ. එතකොට මේ මට දැන් මම කොහොම හරි මේ maximum ඕගස්ට් වෙද්දි ඉවර කරන්න තමයි මගේ ටාගට් එක තියෙන්නේ. ඕගස්ට් වෙද්දි ඉවර කරන්න තව පොයම් 4ක් වගේ තියෙන. මේ පොයම්ස් එච්චර අමාරු නෑ. ඒවා ටක් ගාලා කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඕගස්ට් හරි සෙප්ටෙම්බර් ෆස්ට් වීක් එක වෙද්දි ඉවර වෙන්න. ඔක්ටෝබර් නොවැම්බර් ඩිසෙම්බර් මේ මාස තුනේම තනිකර රයිටින් තමයි ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරන්නේ. තනිකර රයිටින් 2021 batch. ඉතින් එතකොට කොරෝනා නැති වෙලා sometimes you will have your practical classes, I don't know, but if I have 2 students I will continue with them. මේගොල්ලොත් එක වැඩේ කරන් යනවා. Now you join the classes because you don't have any practical classes no now, like physical classes no now, right? Sometimes at that time physical classes might be started, but yet I will continue the online එක නැති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. I will keep the online. At least 2 students I will do online. දැන් ඔය රන්දිලා හේ මං හිතන්නේ කොරෝනා වලට කලින් ආපු සෙට් එකක් ඉන්නේ. කවුද රන් දිනෝදුයි මේ අනිත් සෙට් එක අපේ දිනෝදුයි අපේ කවුද සෙට් එක මං හිතන්නේ කොරෝනා වලට කලින් ඉඳන්ම they came online, right? Physical class එක නෑ පුතා. I don't keep any physical classes. I don't have any physical classes for literature. I do only online. හරිද? මතක් කරලා join වෙන්න දාන්න අනිවාර්යෙන් message එක. Please make sure to put your message මේ email address, then we will add you to the Google Classroom, right? Okay, right. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.